Ukhozi umaphiko ogula amaphiko kwaye kwaphephezela omiyane inyoni nobuciko nomnyunyu edweleni isibini nemafini icula ingoma emnandi yayahlukanisa unyaka omusha omdala inyoni enezigidigidi zabalandeli abayilandelayo zamemeza sezidondolozela zathi siyayazi le nyoni yayiculela okhokho bethu abanye abathule isibongo sokhozi FM sisibhalelwe isidadada sothu Ukhozi FM luhamba phambili.
Sikubingelele sikwamukele igama lami nguNeliswa Cele. Sesiphinde sashaya leso sikhathi sokuthi sikwathulele Ukhozi FM TV. Uyazi nawe sikulethela ingxoxo ezimnandi ezihlabahlosile nabantu abahlukene emhlabeni wonke jikelele. SikuJune iPride Month ngaba sibenza ubulungiswa uma thina singahlali phansi sifundise ngezinto ezibalekile ezithinta abantu esiphila nabo emhlabeni wonke jikelele. Isihambeli sami namhlanje u-Aluta Humbane. U-Aluta ke ulwela amalungelo abantu ngizothi abathandana nobulili obodwa uzongicorrect ukuthi umsebenzi wakho uhamba ufikephi sisami ngikubingelele ngomkele.
Thank you so much gorgeous young girl.
Ngiyabonga uyaphila
kodwa ngiyaphila njani wena?
Ngiyaphila ngiyajabula ukuhlala nawe la namhlanje.
Ngiyabonga nami I'm very honored and I'm very excited ukuthi sibe nale ngxoxo. I think long overdue in the context of transformation. I think as a country we are way delayed. I mean if we look at the democracy ukuthi sayithola nini and sayithola la kukhona abantu abangekho free khona. It's alarming and ngiyajabula ukuthi one of the biggest radio stations in Africa is actually being part of this journey as a pioneer to make sure that they are seeing transformation and the realization of our constitution. So ngiyajabula kuba la.
Asiqale lana bengisi ngiyakwethula ngithi ngichaza umsebenzi wakho angazi noma ngihambe ngafika la bekufanele ngifike khona yini mhlawumbe mawungasichazela nje umsebenzi owenzayo.
So igama lami ngingu-Aluta waka Humbane abaningi bangazi ngintombi yesigodi engawuthwala 9 months.
Hayibo. Mana lisuka phela.
No ngikhula abafana bangasekhaya because babebona ngiyintombazana ngitshikiza ke nje ngimncane. Very proud virgin yabo. So and then mangidlula ukuhlezi bethi how ntombi yesigodi engawuthwala 9 months. So I actually fell in love. It was actually one of the guys we art and theater and I who introduced the name. Uthi when intombi yesigodi engawuthwala 9 months and at first ibingayenzi sense but then I realized ukuthi hey yeah, because of my gender identity, I cannot have children. So forever be a village maiden. So ngalithola kanjalo ke igama emphakathini nje wami waseNandi eMachubeni.
Okay. Ubusachaza ke ngomsebenzi wakho ngikuphazamisile.
So umsebenzi wami ngisebenza njengomuntu olwela amalungelo abantu abaphila abayi community ye-LGBTI. So phecelezi human rights advocacy officer. But over and above that, I'm a visual activist. I work hand in hand with the Professor Sezanele Moholi, where we work on documenting and archiving a visual archive of Black queer persons. Because isikhathi esiningi okwethu sikuthola kubelungu. Ngiyabona nje ngibuka in The Woman King insukwini ku Netflix ngiyathuka ukuthi how izitori zethu nje lezi but asinamandla ukuthi siyiproducele asinamandla ukuthi siyi-archivele so bayafika bazo exploiter like Lion King bahambe nakho. So part of our journey is such that ukuthi siya documenta but futhi sisebenzisa ama visuals wethu as activism.
Okay.
So sisebenza ngawo nje emhlabeni wonke jikelele siyalwa sitshengise sidocumente but most importantly in South Africa ngisebenzela inhlangano ekuthiwa Lesbian and Gay Community and Health Center where lapho khona senza show ukuthi abantu aba-LGBTQIA bayakwazi ukuthi ba-access amalungelo wabo ukuthi bakwazi ukuphila kumthethosisekelo wase South Africa.
So ngifisa ukuza lamagama swahlukanise ngoba hlezi sisho LGBT ngazi noma khona ngishare LGBTQIA ne bakhona ngisho plus it's okay bakhona ngishiyayo usuzongisiza ungilekelele u-L umele ini.
So u-L umele lesbian and I think abantu kufuneka ba understand mhlamba siqale la.
Okay.
Umuntu uzalwa ehlukene kaningi. And I think this is where the contradiction comes in. So masibheka umuntu nje as a whole, sibheka ne gender nobulili. Sibuka probably in 4 parts. I-sex, i-gender identity, i-sexual orientation, bese sibheka i-gender expression. Yeah. So masikhuluma nge-sex sikhuluma ngokuthi umntwana mayezalwa, dokotela mayesethi hayi it's a boy, yabo umfana. Ukubhayisa lokho ngokuthi usuke ebona itotolozi.
Okay.
Mayebona intombazane futhi ukubhayisa lokho ngoba usebona imomozi. Kodwa sithola la kukhona ukuthi kuba khona abantu abazalwayo esibaziyo abaningi because sisebenza kule community abazalwa ukuthi bane ambiguity when it comes to ama sexual organs wabo or ukuzala kwabo. Uthola ukuthi umuntu wesifazane uzele unayo inkomozi kodwa ngaphakathi futhi unama testes. So siyazi ukuthi a producer ihormone yabantu besilisa esibiza nge-testosterone, meaning lo muntu wesifazane mayikhula uzoba masculine because of i-biological makeup yakhe.
Okay.
Yabo? Abanye uthola ukuthi bayazalwa but because umuntu mayezalwa akutesta ukuthi ama chromosomes o X no Y bami ngendlela yini. Uthola ukuthi useyazalwa kodwa kunaleyo into engafani nomunye such that ukuthi uthola ukuthi owesilisa usefeminine kakhulu or present ama feminine qualities or owesifazane kanjalo. So esikhathi esiningi masikhuluma nge-sex sibala umuntu ozozala mhlambe abe umuntu wesimale owesilisa owesifazane bese ukuthi makukhona lona esingaqondi ukuthi kwenzakalani simbiza nge-intersex.
Okay.
Yabo? So i-intersex umuntu ophakathi nendawo ebulilini bobili whether ngemizwa in terms of chromosomes and hormonal balance or whether ngesitho sangasese. Kunzima ukwazi because abantu abaningi bayafihla because nemndeni ibona ngazothi kuyihlazo kanti indelo kaNkulunkulu. So baningi abantu abaphila kanjalo. That's for one when it comes to sex. Yabo, biological sex. Yabo? Then mase siya lapha ku gender identity sikhuluma ke manje ngokuthi i-gender lokho esikwazi njengomuntu wesilisa nowesifazane kuyinto ekhandiwe.
Okay.
Ingane mayizalwa isuke ingazalwanga ingena gender. Ithina esithi mayifika ingane emhlabeni sinikeze i-concept ye-gender. Ingane ayazi yabo nje mawuthatha ingane ezincane ezina 3-4 years azazi nothini umfana ayazi nothini intombazane. The only thing ezazi ukuthi omunye unetotolozi omunye unenkomozi but abanayo i-concept yoku understand. But because thina we came to a society where yonke into sisihlanganise ya-structureishwa ithi ingane sifika already sesidecidile ukuthi based on isitho sangasese sayo izoba u-blue noma izoba u-pink. Now u-blue no-pink uhambisana nama-connotations, uhambisana nomphako. So ma u-blue kufuna ube masculine, kufuna uqine, kufuna ube indoda ube nje such that naleyo ngane ma uyikhulisa according to those expectations. So leyo ngane azange ikhethele, you chose for the child. Yabo? So kuhamba kufika isikhathi ke la umntwana khona eseqala ungena khona esethomba. Technically that is the only time umuntu understand yena khona ukuthi mina ngithandani, ngipreferyani. Ngenxa yokuthi awukwazi ukuthi uyithole usemncane ungakathombi because isikhathi esiningi even now I'm sure ukhathi ungena ebudlelaneni wawungena usithomba la usuthi sengi-attracted usubona ibhungu laphana usuthi onkosi amamuhle mfana yabona ushala because sekukhona lento in your body that is making you want to be in a relationship. So that's the only time you really find yourself with I want to be in a relationship but with who? Ubani lo nge-attracted to yena. That's where sesikhuluma nge-sexual orientation ke.
Okay.
Yabo?
Okay, yeah.
So i-gender identity i-socialization indlela yokukhandwa komuntu ukuthi akhule through i-socialization azabe mdala.
Yeah.
Akayikhethelanga lowo mntwana but ukhethe lowo mzali ne-environment asuke eyithola kuyona. So most of these two is-sex umntana mayekhula ne-gender identity mayekhula. So if it's not by choice by the time efika kwi-puberty la seyithola khona that's why uthola ukuthi abantu abaningi bakhule be-right be-straight and then uthola ukuthi usuyahlangana naye seniqeda isikole hawu usehamba nomuntu wakhe and umuntu uthandana bulilo bodwa and then you're like but hawu wena buhamba namantombazane ubutshana namanto cha it's because ezekhuli la ithola khona yena ukuthi ikuphi engikuthandayo. Yabo, that's the biggest challenge esiba nayo. So mase sibheka ku-sexual orientation sexual orientation ukuthi u-attracted to ba.
Yeah.
Uthanda ba. I-gender identity bakho ubulili uba.
Okay.
Yabo?
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah.
kunomehluko between i-gender identity, which is ubani wena sisineli.
Yeah.
Yabo? But i-sexual orientation uthanda bani sisineli.
Yeah,
Yabo?
yeah,
So
yeah.
mase sithi uthanda bani sesikhuluma ngokuthi uthanda umuntu wesilisa, uthanda umuntu wesifazane, uthanda bobabili umuntu wesilisa noma umuntu wesifazane noma awuthandi umuntu. So masibheke lo LGBTI acronym. U-L umele u-lesbian,
Okay.
umuntu wesifazane. Othi mina nge-gender identity yami
Yeah.
nange-sex yami
Yeah.
ngumuntu wesifazane, kodwa ngithanda omunye umuntu wesifazane. Akumshintsho ukumenza uba indoda. Kufanele siku-understande lokho. Yabo?
Interesting ngoba abantu babuza ukuthi ubani indoda kule relationship.
Sisazophinde sikuthinte lokho mase singena ku-gender expression.
Okay. Oh,
Yabo?
okay.
So mase sithi gay umuntu owesilisa othi mina yes ngumuntu wesilisa. I don't have any desire to be umuntu wesifazane. Ngumuntu wesilisa nje kodwa ngithanda omunye umuntu wesilisa naye umuntu wesilisa. Key thing la i-gender identity yakho ngithi ngithe yakho personal.
Yeah.
The sexual orientation is who you are attracted to.
Yeah.
So ungathola ukuthi khona umuntu o-straight othandana ne-gay. Kodwa until kuze kube uyena othi ngigay, lo muntu can maintain ukuthi u-straight because i-identity yakhe eye-gender identity eyakhe. U-attracted to umuntu o-gay, which is the sexual orientation. And I think that's where the confusion really comes kubantu abaningi. So then sesiya ku-B, ngithi se-LG u-B manje.
Yeah.
U-B u-bisexual. Umuntu othi mina ngiyamthanda umuntu wesifazane kodwa futhi ngiphinde ngimthanda umuntu wesilisa. Yabo? Lokho asisho ukuthi umuntu ozobathanda bobabili ngesikhathi esisodwa sekuphinga lokho. Umuntu ozothi mina nje ngigender fluid ngingathandana nawe Neli manje mangihlukana noNeli hawu ngiyamthanda ubhuti laphayana. Hey yabo ngiphinde ngithandane naye kube mnandi. So umuntu onjalo simbiza nge-bisexual.
Okay.
Then kube u-transgender. So angithi ngizobuyela emuva ngithena ngithi khona i-gender identity. Ngathi kwi-gender identity khona u-male no-female. U-male no-female uhamba ne-construct oyizinto zakhiwo zokuthi khona u-masculinity no-femininity. U-masculinity no-femininity ama-energy ke lawo. One is very powerful and very aggressive, which is le yabantu besilisa. One is very subtle and very soft, which is feminine energy. The reality is we both have sonke no feminine no masculine in us. But again, so for another time though. But so kube khona abantu abafana njengo-Aluta. Abazozala bezalo emzimbeni ngumuntu wesilisa in terms of ukuthi banetotolozi. Kodwa mabekhula bona bayikhula beyibona abantu besifazane ngibona ngumuntu wesifazane. Up until I get to a point where sengimdala ngize ngidecide ukuthi no man ngeke. Angiyena lo mzamo lo ekhaya bangiqambe yena mina nguthemsile. Yabo? So labo bantu abanjalo libona ababizwa ngama transgender.
Okay.
Yabo?
Yeah.
They deviate bayaphuma from lo male and female bayongena ku transgender. And ngizama nokuneza namagama a clinical aka gender studies. Abantu aba straight to abantu aba cisgender.
Yeah.
Ama heterosexuals. Abantu aba lesbian gay abathanda nobulili bodwa kuthiwa ama homosexuals. Homo into eyodwa.
Yeah.
Mase ba khona laba abathi thina asikho straight futhi asikho homosexual sengama transgender. So they are transitioning from the norm. Abantu abathe ukuhluka kancane from the norm. So mase wakhona abantu aba transgender. Then u-I ngithi se-LGBT, u-I owa intersex. Lo ade ngikhuluma ngawo lapha eqaleni ku-sex ukuthi umuntu ozalwe kungaqondakala ukuthi isitho sakhe sangasese sinjani, mhlawumbe unezitho zangasese ezimbili okanye khona esodwa si-dominant, khona esodwa si-passive okanye kuma chromosomes o-X and Y biological makeup and hormonals akhona ungaqondakala. Then intersex lo ngena lapho as part of his sex biological sex makeup. Then kuba u-Q. U-Q igama elalisetshenziswa phesheya eliqonda ukuthi queer. U-queer igama elalichaza abantu ababethandana nobulili bodwa ngaleso sikhathi. So thina la eSouth Africa sisebenzisa leli sibe silisebenzise ngendlela engekho right elithi sitabane. but ibona phesheya babe bethi queer. So ngaleza ikhathi kwakuyigama elingekho mnandi. So lali politically incorrect, but njengokusho nje kwekonika no dark sesabthatha subclaimer sabthuntusa sabuthi ayicha buzosebenzela busachaza thina. No queer ke igama eselichaza abantu aba part of the LGBTI without being specific to say ukuthi we lesbian noma gay noma bisexual. Mawuthe uqueer nje siyazi ukuthi awukho straight. Simple as that, yabo. Then se-LGBTQIA I intersex A uhlukene kabili. Khona u-A wama allies.
Okay.
Abantu abazwa abalwa namalungelo ukuthi abantu aba-LGBTI bakwazi ukuphila ba-access amalungelo wabo, ama-allies, abantu abahambisana nathi. Labo bantu singabala imindeni yethu, singabala abangane, singabala ama-advocates, singabala ama-researchers. But abantu abathi thina we are for the community and we are fighting for the community. Uphinde u-A uchaza abantu aba-asexual. Abantu abangenayo ke attraction labo. So uthola ukuthi uyathandana naye umuntu mhlambe ningaba sexual nikwazi ukuthi nithokozise kodwa anikwazi ukuthi nibe ne-attraction, so akakwazi ukuyitform i-attraction lo muntu. Ubizwa ngokuthiwa asexual. Ziningi izathu ezidala lokho, kungaba i-underdevelopment of the brain, or it could be ama-traumas our experience and attachment issues anawo, of which they would have to go on their journey to actually find out ukuthi kwenzakalani. But it's two separate things. So mase kuthi plus umele ukuthi kwi-gender identity, ngithi ngithe khona i-gender identity, ngathi khona sexual orientation. Kwi-gender identity there's about 52 different types of genders.
Sure, okay.
Yabo? Or demi-gender, bi-gender, baningi. Kwi-sexual orientation there's about 48 different types of sexual orientations. So lo plus uchaza konke lokho kunye nabantu esingakaba understand ukuthi bawubani.
I see. Ubale u-asexual laphana wathi kungadalwa izinto ezahlukahlukene. And ngiyahlala kancane emqondweni wami ukuthi kusho ukuthi umuntu mayike agowisha nje wathi sengiqedile akhathela abafana sengi-asexual.
You know, the mind works in very strange ways over a period of time. If somebody has, if umuntu esehlukumezeke kakhulu umqondo, ugcina usushutha down ama-faculties la ezwela khona ubuhlungu. Uthola ukuthi umuntu useyangena ebudlelwaneni, that's why uthi even nomjolo manje usunzima kangaka, because abantu abaningi sebehetheke kakhulu not only emjolweni, because lento ye-trauma eqala ekhaya. Uthola ukuthi ubudlelwano obunabo nabazali bebungekho solid. Le ndaba yoba aba-absent lokho create i-anxious attachment style. So uthola umuntu mase nomuntu athandana naye, once kwaba close kakhulu sebeqala ukuthi useyamfeel ukuthi uyamthanda, ingqondo yakhe ikhike in as a subconscious yokuthi hayibo ingozi leyo. Angithi ubehlukumezeke ekhaya umzali behleze ngekho. Nangesikhathi esengena ebudlelwaneni ke manje, once lo muntu eseqala ukuba close, i-feeling leyo thando wena oyifilayo iba uncomfortable for yena mesiyabaleka. So uthothi usezobaleka usezohamba manje ufuna ukuyokwenzani ukuyoregulate leyo mizwa ngokuthi athandane nomunye umuntu khona imizwa yakhe izothi ukudidiseka. Wena usune stress ke lapho.
Ngiyabona. Fisa sikhulume kancane ngejourney yakho ngohambo lwakho. I'm sure eSouth Africa siphila kuyona it wasn't easy, but nje mawungasilandisa ukuthi mhlawumbe wawungakanani la ubona khona ukuthi no angikho ngapha mina, like it's not me, angisiyena umuntu obhesayo ozizinto ekanjena. And usixoxele nje ukuthi usilandise ususe ekuqaleni kuze kube yimanje la usukhona.
So ijourney yami iqale ngizalwa umama nje umZulu, unesi nobaba umsuka wakhe waseMozambique.
Okay.
And so obviously ngikhulele in a mixed nuance kind of family where amaZulu it's a different culture. Ngala kuphila isingisinyana because khuluma nesingisi yabo nje impilo yesingisi nje kumnandi. So bengi stuck in those two narratives. Ngakhula nje ngumntwana nje right kababa ku right kama nje ba right nakhona. But and then I got into primary school and again njengisho ukuthi thu ingane lento ye identity we understand Ngangihlezi ngithuka nje esikoleni ngithi ayibona intombazana but mina ekhaya ngumfana. And I used to cry because it was so uncomfortable. Because napa abantu kuthiwa usitabane, and mind you lelo gama lithi sitabane lisho kumina kuphela. Alisho wonke umuntu. So it made me feel like ukuthi there's something strange about you. So ngakhula e-primary school babehlezi bethi babengibiza ngomama. Abafana babengibiza ngomama. Kukhona umfana kwakuthiwa umXolisiqephu ekhulu wayehlala kaMashu akasekho emhlabeni. He was quite an old gentleman esikoleni. And so angazi noma ngithanda noma wenze njani kodwa umXolisi wayehleze ngibiza ngentombi yakhe. Nginga-understand-ke mayeqhamuka ngobaleka athi wazalana But the good thing about umXolisi engibiza ngentombi yakhe was the fact that ukuthi e-primary school ngagcina sengivikeleka because wonke umuntu wayemsaba umXolisi. So mangintombi kaMXolisi hayibo ngintombi ka
uyahlonishwa
uphakhe
yes
so nje ngiyayibona lapha no-BIG yabo.
ngiyakubona.
So I was protected by umXolisi in a sense, but still I was very discriminated. So I grew up ngivalela and ngifihla. Ngangajoli ngenzeliso because obviously ujola kanjani was kahle ukuthi nje umuntu esifazane yabona. The first time I realized that there's something awkward was I used to see ama underwears mayilekiwe kamakhelwane wami, and I used to get turned on because because ngangicabanga lokho ngale kwani yabo ngi-imaginisha yabo. And I would realize ukuthi if okazini bami bamba bebeka intombi mina nje ngikhona nomfana nje lengimthanda endaweni. Then obviously ngangena high school lutho nje angijola ngenza lutho nje nge-starvation until I met this guy ohlala ngasekhaya. And then one day I'm like ngiyaqinisa imbindike la kwakukhisimusi yabona ngokhisimusi ubuye uthi kancane into yakhona angithi ngiqinisa ibindi ngiqonde kuyena uguy ngiyamtshela guy ngithi mfethu ngiyakuthanda bese ngiyalile umfana watshela wonke umuntu
bakithi wonke umuntu manje wayesazi
wonke umuntu. Ngathi ngiyabuya esikoleni one day yabazi abazali ngihlala nogogo ngaleso sikhathi abazali mawenza into wrong once wangena nje usawubona wakhona nje uyakutshela ukuthi ayiziyakhala athi sawubona ngigene gogo njani ahlala phansi ngasho ukuthi ayekho ngahlala phansi. The first thing my granny said was usumshelelani-ke la mfana walapha ezantsi khawuswela mgodo okucasha lapha ngisazi ngizokwenza njani. So I sat there and I told my grandmom ayi gogo ngaphika kwaba yileso sikhathi-ke sengiphuma out-ke as a gay person. So then I started meeting abanye abantu abafana nami. Fortunately ngaqashwa ile nhlangano engisebenzelayo manje ukuthi ngizokuba i-youth wellbeing program coordinator. So ngaleso sikhathi-ke sasesidila nabantu abasha and sine branch la eThekwini 320. So I got to be in this space now sengibona ukuthi hayibo kanti angedwa bakhona abanye abantu abanjengami. And that was the time I started to be free. Ngaqala nami ngayifunda ukuthi ngubani. Ngaqala-ke manje ngasengithi hayi okay ayisengaqala-ke ngijule because ngi-understand ukuthi ngubani. So the journey went on ngase ngene university ngafunda ngaqeda ukufunda ngaba uthisha. Now at the back of my mind kukhona lento ethi wena umuntu esifazane, but it was so shameful and so disgusting that I could never ever confront it. Angikwazanga ukuthi ngiyibheke leyo nto. Kwakuyinto nje ngangizazela mina ngedwa deep down inside ukuthi ngiyafisa ukuba nemomozi, ngiyafisa ukuba namabele, ngiyafisa nje ukuba umama omuzi nje thizeni nje ngibe nomndeni and take care of indoda yami ngibe nendoda. I had those dreams nje in my mind. But kwaba into engiyifihla because I could never ever face it. So ngaqala ukufundisa-ke ngifundise ePhoenix in an Indian school where it's very patriarchal. And remember ngisanda kuphuma e-university ngisayigqokela ochino bama ba-blue nama-colorful shirts yabo. First week nje uprincipal angibizela office ethi hayi Humbane, unfortunately lana you will say So ngeke uzogqoke kanje. Uzogqoka dark colors, muted colors, u-shirt ne-tie. I'm like, what?
Ngokhala nje.
So ngasebenza ke 4 years. On the 4th year, I wasn't coping. Like I was highly depressed. Here I am. Everybody's wishing for a job. I've got a job. I've got a car. I've got a house. But I'm so depressed. I'm so unhappy because every day, Abantwana, how good morning, sir. And I'm like, but I'm not a sir deep down. Go, ma'am. And the 5th year, like mental health yam took a knock. Remember when we grow up as LGBTI persons, imndeni yethu iyas-exclude. Yabo khona iphathi yengxoxo engazange ngixoxe wekhathi ngithi ngixoxela umakho nokuthi ngimtshela ukuthi ngigay wathi akazange azale ingane gay yena so akanangane. And then ngase ngizoqeda umatric like la sengaphuma khona ke ngabaleka ekhaya ngaba ngodlala egoli. Ngiyozama ukuthi ngiphushe industry and it was a traumatizing experience but nayo yinde nje ngokwami. So ngase ngiyafundisa and then when on the 5th year, I remember I was so, my life was upside down. I started getting into drugs, just to cope. And ngiphuza nje kwakwaziwa nje ukuthi Fridays yakhala. It was so bad, like it was so bad. I think, sune moto, and you realize ukuthi, but yona yonke into ade ngisebenzela yonke la ngithi ngifuna nemoto ngifuna nomuzi ngifuna nayo yonke sengikutholile kodwa still ngisa empty. Yabo. Then I had to reflect and start looking inside. I remember it was a Thursday and uprincipal wathi ngangawasubmithanga ama-files wami so babe ngihlala e-staff room beno-subject advisor and I just walked out of the staff room ngayithathela into zami esikoleni eklasini kwakuyi-4th period. Angene emotweni yami ngagoduka and I got home. I didn't feel well. I went to the hospital eShifa ngathi angizizwa kahle and that day kwathiwa unenkinga yenhliziyo. Why? Because umncane kangaka.
Sure.
And then bangifaka lezi zinto zakhona o-CG what and I was kept there for 3 days. The 4th day I asked to see a psychologist because I'd made up my mind ukuthi I want to live. I can't live this lie. I can't. Like I can't be this person that people abangilindele ukuthi ngibe uyena. I can't be lo se. I can't be lo malume lona. I can't be lo mfana lo ekhaya bamlindele. I just can't. Sengizamile ngendlela yami yonke ukuthi ngikufofile kuyangihlula. Ngimiserable. Nginayo yonke into engidinga empilweni ngimiserable. Sengiphuma phesheya sengisebenzile. Everybody knows my name. I've got connections, but I'm miserable. Then wathi psychologist angikhounselisha ngabuya ngempela ngoMonday ngatenderish resignation yami esemsebenzini ngabuya ngaqala phansi ngayohlala endlini ke. I think that was the turning point in my life because that 8 months ngisendlini literally ngazivumela ukuthi ngibe depressed and go through every emotion up until the 9th month isiphelile imali
ekadibekiwe
angisenaLutho. And then I said to myself, Aluta, like you've built this profile for yourself, you've been modeling for Woolworths, you've been doing this, you've been traveling the world, and you're just gonna allow yourself to go down the right. And I was like, I need to do something. And then kwaqhamuka osisibama ba-trans, usazi nomunye waseMaritzburg. Bathi hayibo, nami ngajabula noZanele Mholi. uZanele Mholi wasithatha, I think that's the first trip, wasise New York. Wathatha trans people. Wasise New York, and I was like, what? Ah, okay, so nami ngibalekile. Oh nami abanye abafana njengami. And from that point on, I came back to South Africa and I was like, okay, I'm doing this with or without anybody's approval. Ngacela psychologist, ngaqala psychotherapy. I-psychotherapy ngayishaya for 8 months before transition. Kufanele ukushaya i-psychotherapy because kufuneke the changes are so drastic. Yabona ukuphila emzimbeni umuntu wesilisa and then usuphila umuntu wesifazane. It's a very overwhelming thing. And abantu wesilisa nomuntu wesifazane abafana. So ngahamba i-psychotherapy, mangiqeda i-psychotherapy ngaqala ke journey yami yokuthi ngi-transition. Ngaqala ke lapho ngadla ama-hormones. of ukuthi ama-hormones, estrogen, ukuthi manje i-align umzimba wami ube umuntu wesifazane, ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi ngibe namabele, umzimba, shape, everything. And then after a year of hormones, kwaqhamuka ithuba lokuthi ngiyokwenza i-orchidectomy yami. Orchidectomy is i-surgery yokususa isikhwama inhlamvu, because angithi izona beproduce i-testosterone.
I see.
And i-testosterone yomuntu wesilisa,
I see.
and mina ngene umuntu wesilisa angithi. So ukuze ngi-align, I had to go through the hormonal therapy, ngawadla for unyaka after psychotherapy with the psychologist. Then emva kalokho ngase ngiqala i-orchidectomy yami, and then saqala ke manje nabo nama activists. Ayingeke manje sesifuna phela umageliza yabo. So because njengoba ngisho ukuthi khona lento ekuthiwa i-gender dysphoria.
Okay.
I-gender dysphoria ka psychology by considerisha kabili. In the past years abantu aba-transgender kwacabangeka ukuthi ngathi baya imqonda abekho right as part of i-gender dysphoria, up until there was research to prove ukuthi there's nothing wrong with people who experience i-gender dysphoria. Abangazi emakhaya, i-gender dysphoria yinto efana njengesici sakho.
Okay.
Yabo? Unase isici? Like into othi abantu abagcona ngayo noma begcona ngayo noma into esima uyicabanga ufeel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yabo?
Yeah.
You feel le feeling we feel amangikhuluma ngayo. So i-gender dysphoria is exactly the same thing esiyifeelayo thina about our gender. So nina niyifeela ngesici, thina siyifeela ngale identity esinikezwe ekhathi sizalwa, of which we did not choose it.
Sure.
Yabo? So it's exactly the feeling. So the gender dysphoria was so overwhelming for me that bengasawazi nokuthatha iy'thombe engasafuna ukuyibuka esibukweni, because every time I look at this guy lo Thabane lona nje ungazi umbhekiseni wakephi
ubafo.
So and then when I aligned, so started taking hormones, I'm realizing, oh wow, the journey to hormones. Oh wow, my skin is getting softer. Wow, I promise you, kazi sengiqala ukuhluma amabele. Like literally everybody knew because I was like, the excitement of actually finding who you are. And the journey was so beautiful that I just felt like, okay, mangiqala ukuphila. Yabo? Ngazalwa ngumzamo, Melvin. But my dad is Mozambican, so I got the name Aluta when I visited Mozambique.
Okay.
And then uqhawekazi ngawunikeza umuntu engizwana naye. Sesithandana isikhathi eside nje unyaka wesi-9 manje.
Wow.
So sikhule sobabili nje sitotosana sihluphana. So ngase ngiqeda ki-orchidectomy yokususa ama-testes, so angisayiproduce i-testosterone. Ngase ngithi what the next level ke manje sekufuna ngithole umageliza. Then sazama mageliza, it's like 5 years. The waiting list is this long. 5
years.
Just to get mageliza phela, to get alignment surgery, ukwenza le surgery kamageliza, if we calculate, it's about 300,000. And government ey'bhedlela lezi za government bawuconsiderisha as a cosmetic procedure because it's plastic surgery. It's surgery. So, but they don't understand the psychology of it. Angithi ngichaza ukuthi kuba khona i-gender dysphoria. Kubanye abantu abane-gender dysphoria khona abanye abaze bagcina beyibulala because bafila le pain yongakwazi ukuthi babe yibona. That is so overwhelming. Remember ukuthi nami ngichaze ukuthi ngize ngafika to a place where I was depressed and I was on drugs and alcohol up until I decided ukuthi no man, something has got to give. Angengikwazi ukuphila kanjena, and I had to go back and fix this, which was this. So kuthena ngo-2019 kwa umngani wami usazi wathi mngani we advocating uthando, khona uthando qhawekazi wathi we advocating umthatha hospital ukuthi enze gender alignment surgery. And I was like, oh yes, we're gonna do it. Wathi no, Dr. Kevin, khona Dr. Kevin Edmonds owase Cape Town, he's the best surgeon okwenza i-vagina. So what to Dr. Kevin, I can come down and train odokotela basemthatha, but we're going to need abantu aso-trainer ngapho. So mina nosazi sasana pha amagama ethu. Remember, there's a 20-year waiting period. Yabo. So ma sign up, COVID happens. Impeti igcwele. What do we do now? We're stuck. I go back to depression. Then go to last year. So I've been formally as a human rights advocacy officer, and I'm traveling in between provinces, and we had this workshop in Johannesburg. So I met Ukhozi. Ukhozi is also another transgender woman, Ukhozi Tandu, who has done the surgery by the same doctor. Ngithi Tando, I'm battling, like sekunzima ukulive day by day. Remember, I'm dating a straight guy. Yabo, and maslala sekunzima nami nokuthi ngize nge-enjoy because phela khona lento lena. Yabo engenza ukuthi every time nginqunu ngikhumbule ukuthi hayibo usawubafo.
I see.
Yabo, so it became very uncomfortable to get naked. It became very uncomfortable to be intimate. Like angisakwazi even noma silala sekufuneke ngibheke ukuthi ngilala kanjani. The beautiful thing is that I think that's one of the things I love my partner is that he'll be like, no, it's okay. Just ngikuthanda njalo, I'm comfortable with you. Yeah, and I think that's what made me because he's one of those people who's like, yeah, the way ungakhona. Yeah. So, and then I'm like, sister, I really need to get my surgery done. Like, I've waited for so long. And diaspora yami isakhona. As much as ngingma hormones, ngiyamila amabele and I'm going through the whole journey, but still I want to makelisa. Yabo. Then I say, guys, okay, let's talk to Dr. Kevin and Dr. Vuiwe from Mthatha National Mandela Hospital and see, because nabo banodokotela ama-surgeons amasha afuna ukufunda ukuthi yenziwa kanjani le surgery so that isibhedlela sizoyi-introduce fully.
Okay.
Then I'll be like, I'm game. Can you please talk to them? A week later, Ukhozi comes back to me and says, but it's okay. But you're going to have to fundraise Maliama flights and accommodation to take Kevin from Cape Town to Mthatha. I'm like, I don't care, I'm taking my salary if I have to. So then within a month, within a month, I had already had my date.
Wow.
And I could not believe it. April, I could not believe it. I told them at work, I was supposed to be in New York and San Francisco, manje. And then there was a Paris trip I was going to do. I'm like, I don't care about those trips right now. I've been waiting for this for such a long time. I want to get my Kelisa done so that I can finally align myself. Then, I remember iholo lami April long. We all book my flights. Kichima was 6,000. What's about 9,000 in my flights? Kapukilo kuzane I guest house. Na it's like 6,000-7,000. I'm like, okay, cool. As long as Kevin comes here, I'll be broke. And accommodation and I get there, and then, like, I was so excited. Because it's like, finally, 30 plus years later, you get to do what you want. You get to be this person that you are. You get to undress. And remember, I'm in a relationship with Nengane na 5 years. I've never, in Tomazane, she always wanted to even bath with me. I can't even bath with her because it's going to be uncomfortable for her to see Utuma Hunjan. So all those dynamics that I've had to live with, then I get there, I've never been so excited. Our dad is like, what do you need? I don't need anything. I said, no, take somebody. And I think that's the most beautiful thing, is the support that we had with one another. Take somebody, I'll find you. Take the money, you book them into a guest house and they'll wait for you and whatnot. Here's a new camera, go and document everything that you're doing. What else do you want? I'm like, but Baba, I'm okay. I said, no, this is like the biggest moment in your life. So I get there, I got admitted on 5 May. Galala Spele on 5 May. I ngomhla 4, 5 May go to theatre. I'm just a super excited person. Like angisenandaba nokukhumula because I know it is the last time in Khumula and people will get to see this genitalia. I remember, I think as part of the exhibition, the only picture that I have of myself and my totolos is that picture. I took at the guest house in Umtata where I had stripped indwangu just to broke umkhaba. And on the top I have breast, and on the bottom I have a totolos. And it's such an ambiguity because who has breast and a totolos? So I took that picture, I was like, will be the only thing that reminds me of my past. Then ngahamba ngangena ngomhla 5 yenziwe surgery about 6 hours. Or before that, sisahlala phansi na Dr. Kevin over dinner, and he's like, so girly, how do you want your girl to look like?
What's designer?
Then I get on the phone, I'm like, it's Coco. In the dance business, I was Coco. I must take it. It's Coco. Oh, what's in mind? It's Coco. It's Coco. Kuluma. Then that's a young guys in me. When I end, I know of Japanese. Google thombe. I'm like, okay. Nazi thombe is number 21 different types of looking. It's a cat. I learn to inking. I cat and I am bed. I cat out. I think there's 3 options: number 7, 11, and 21. Number 11 was uting go line. No. My options I tune is like, okay, this one looks nice, nice, thick and petite. And you know, I think that's the beauty. And then we go to the surgery and ngingene. It's my second surgery because testes. And one of the most scariest things about this surgery is that I had an epidural. The epidural is that injection la spinal cord. And I don't lie, I'm traumatized. So I get to the surgery room, I'm like, doc, I know I want my vagina. I want ngayifuna le momos. Kodwa because I can't. No, we'll just put another anesthesia. They just put the mask and I was gone. 5 hours later, I wake up and ngivuka. I mean, that's how extreme it was, and I'm under enormous pain. Because now I think baby sebengivusa isiphelile surgery. Ubuhlungu angazi ubuhlungu njani empilweni yami. Angiwazi amakhaza njani. And I remember for that moment because I think they had to wake me up ukucheck ukuthi ngiyavuka yimi. And then bangifaka kwenye into engazuthi jacket, a heater. Because I think a surgery you in the fridge. You're in the fridge for being in the fridge for 5 hours. So ngafutumala. While that is happening, gunshots, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a scary movie. And it's all dark. And then the next thing, I think bangifaki morphine, I passed out the next moment and the following day, it's a female surgical ward. The whole hospital knows, I had like literally the whole ward knows ukuthi ugel une vagina and mind you angigqokile ngihlezi nje ngengelezi ngithini the whole time, the whole week, because it's so under so much of pain. Then everybody's coming, how right? I'm like, I don't care about being right. Can you please take a picture of my vagina because ngifuna momo zami uthenjani. Nangempela abo sister bashuthi momo zami bayangitshengisa bathi cha inhle momo zami. And I'm like, wow, what a beautiful momozi. So for a full week nge under morphine. Then I came back to Durban. In a nutshell, that has been the journey for me. It's been one that is enzima because ngiqale la qala khona sekuthiwa khona manje njengoba ngibuyisela back to ukuthi mangumntwana ngizalwe ngafe nganikezwa i-identity mina engazange ngivumele kuyona. Engazange ngibe nethuba lokuthi ngiyidefend ukuthi mina ngicela ukukhuliswa kanjani or ngicela ukuba kanjani. Ngayithola sengila ngena kwi-teenager khona sengiba rebellious sekuthiwa ngathi ngumntwana okuhlaza, but because of the trauma, the discrimination, the exclusion that I experienced, nokubulishwa, because I was different and unique. Kwang-overwhelma, kwangenza ukuthi ngibe ne-PTSD, ngibe ne-trauma extreme. Ngathi sengiphuma esikoleni, more rejection, and I had to, ukubaleka kwami ngegoli really was to, I needed to be away from everything and everybody, because everything and everybody was reminding me of the person that I was not, and it was also trying to kill the person that I wanted to be. Sengibuya ke ngazama ukuthi ngibe lo muntu abafisa ukuthi ngibe uyena, because ngiyabona ukuthi sengixoshiwe. Phela that's what happens to most of us. Mawuthatha ukubheka abantu aba-LGBTQIA bayaphuma emakhaya bayohlala emadolobheni, bahlale bodwa, bahlale nabangani. Kugcina sekuyimndeni, imndeni yethu kwabangani bethu. Sigcina sesiyikhulisa thina siyingane. Asinabazali abasikhulisa, because abazali bethu bane-discomfort nje. I think isikhathi esiningi obuma bethu bafila le pain yokuthi umntana amuka nje because of me, and as a result baba resentful. Also abanye bakwazi ukwamkela because basibona njengechilo, basibona njengehlazo. Yabo, so into eyihlazo emehlweni akho, how do you embrace it? So ukhula unalesi silonda nje as an LGBTI person ukuthi I've never been valid, I've never been important, and as a result abanye abantu babathi why sihlezi sinemali, why sikanje, we end up overcompensating. Sizama ukugcwalisa le void yokuthi yabo ukuthi yes abangamukelanga ekhaya, yes bangirejectile, ngizosebenza hard ukuthi ngize ngibe nemali, ngibe powerful, because we know that power, that's the only way we can gain power. That's the only way esikwazi ukuthi sikwazi ukuyicontrol, sibe ne-control over our conditions, because otherwise we can't, you know. And slowly but surely, if sinenhlanhla siyakwazi ukuthi sigcine sesithole imndeni. But the key thing here is really ukuthi society needs to understand ukuthi, number one, singabantu. And I do understand sometimes as an advocate, njengomuntu osebenza kulo msebenzi engisebenza kuwona, ngibe ne-compassion kubantu ngokuthi asikhulanga ngendlela efanayo, nemfundiso yabantu ayifananga. If wena ufundiswe ekhaya ukuthi mawubona isitabane kufanele kusithuke, yona mfundiso leyo. Question is that a good thing to do? We go to the Bible and say God is love. Where is love when you are discriminating against another person? And I think very explicitly Bible ikhuluma ngokuthi uNkulunkulu yedwa uyena futhi umehluli. So how do the roles become subverse such that ukuthi sokuwena manje ukhetha ukuthi ubani ophilayo, ubani ufuna besesontweni, ubani ufuna aqhubeke kanjani? So for me, I think the moral decay and the biggest issue that I would love to fight ukuthi ngiyafisa ukuthi sifike kuleli zinga ezabantu la sihloniphana khona. La ngithi neli mina ngi-agree ne-hairstyle yakho ngiyithandi. Kodwa ngizoyihlonipha because wena uyayithanda. Yabo? Ayikho ekhandeni lami. Sihleze sibuza kubantu mas advocate ukuthi yini ehlukumeza abantu kanganga ukuthi mina ngithandana noSipho. Because mina noSipho esuke sisodwa ekamereni, and it has nothing to do with anybody else, unless mawukuthi wena mawubona mina nginoSipho kuvusa into kuwena. Leyo ngekho comfortable ngayo wena, because a lot of people project their own insecurities.
Yazi ususithathe wasibeka ngathi sasikhona ohambeni lwakho, and ngiyabona ukuthi kuningi esingakukhuluma, kuningi kusamele sikufunde. So wenza ubulungiswa soyibamba lana kwamanje, kodwa uyeza part 2 guys. Ngiyayivala lana kwamanje sikhuluma no-Aluta waKuHumbane part 2. Ngicela sibuyeni sonke because kuningi ekufanele sikufunde, sifundisane, sikwazi ukuthi sikhulisane.